Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject? Not before I've done some reading.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Mesiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You can't know how much I appreciate that. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Such a troublemaker, but a thoughtful one. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Well, I never expected to live forever. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What do you want to know? That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul, to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries, and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. A simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. And look how well that turned out. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fiora's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time, or the forces behind it. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Thanks for talking.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Horrible or perfect? Endless spring. They breathe, they flower, they will never fade. Is the acorn not beloved of the oak? We merely ponder. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
Good fight. Didn't that cartographer's letter say she was near Naku Tedek?
I thought I had explored all of Emerald Stair, but this is new to me. I think that's Maxim Vidaro, the governor's father. He's been missing, gods, 10 years now?
So he was here all along.
Coming in hot.
Oh, smells like a whale's insides.
That's one for us. Next one's mine. Is that all you got?
Unseek!
Let's see what you got.
Soul for the wheel.
That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with at camp.
Is it true you had a relationship with Inquisitor Ludwig? This is too much. I think I'm going to be sick. A romantic evening with the Inquisitor? I can't even picture it. Must have been like lying down with a bear trap. I stand corrected. There's something sad about an Inquisitor hiding their true nature. But I cannot pity her for it. Every day we choose what we are, and every day she chooses poorly. You too. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. Sounds like something Inquisitor Ludwig would say. And for once, she wouldn't be wrong. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Until next time. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. I'm sure she appreciates the help, though she has a funny way of showing it. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days, she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. If I must. I hope no one... minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stair was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. Paradise.
Naku Tadek is a place of spiritual power. We're sure to find the answers we seek.
Why do they call it that anyway?
Good question. It means ancient soul. Naku Tadek was old when these lands were young. The godless built around Aedyr pillars. Maybe they've felt a deeper connection to the spirit world. My friend Yatsli is a scholar of the godless. She could tell us more.
Another one down.
Who's next? Anyone? A little power goes a long way. Charge them. We usually bring our dead to Naku Tadek, but for you, I'll make an exception.
Have you spoken to Alfonso? He seems in a low spirits.
You didn't hear? Someone desecrated the shrine.
No. What about the reliquary? It means the world to him.
Gone. But whoever took it is in for a surprise. It's cursed by the mad god Aethys.
Oh, poor bastard.
Seek!
Let's see what you got. Another glorious map.
Well, there are worse places to go. Ready, aim.
They're coming!
This one's mine.
Watch your flank!
Seek!
Get ahead of them! Protect the envoy!
Hey, you there! Salutations, traveler. Welcome to lovely Naku Tadek. It's seen better times, but it's still a marvel of ancient architecture. Oh, but I forget myself. I'm Alyssa, a wanderer and explorer, and sometimes even a merchant. Like now. Care to see my wares? Yeah, I get it. Truth be told, I'm mainly here to study the ruins. Nothing wrong with picking up some profits on the side, though, huh? Between spare supplies and interesting finds, I've got a few things that I wouldn't mind parting with. That being said, care to see what I have?
This is a spiritual haven. Could we remove the animancy equipment, please?
Take it up with the governor.
But he told me to ask you.
In that case, the answer is no.
If you've come to Naku Tedek for a funeral, I'm afraid you're late. Or early, perhaps?
We're actually here to conduct some research.
I see. Well, do remember that this is a holy site, and others may be meditating. For an acolyte of Berith, there is no higher honor than the giving of last rites. Naku Tedek dates back to ancient times. It was, and remains, a mausoleum of the soul. Unfortunately, godless ruins have a strong connection to the other side. They attract unwanted attention. Wherever there's an Aedyr pillar, you can count on animancers circling it like flies.
An unflattering but not unfair comparison.
When my order first heard of this place, they sent us overseas to guide wayward souls into their next life. Strange. I don't think so. Death is the most ordinary thing in the world, second only to life. Reincarnation is not a perfect system. The flaws and inefficiencies are why the field of animancy exists at all. So, in accordance with Berith, we are midwives of a different labor, life into death. That's all I ask. Thank you, godlike.
What?
Even death is a logical system.
I'm trying to work, but these mystics keep getting in my way.
There should be some equipment by the Aedyr pillar.
We remember these walls. Yes, we have been here.
Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery. Armed and ready for mischief.
I'm 2 out of 3 anyway.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? We'll get to that and more, I promise. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the dream Scourge to show its ugly face. Probably not, but that never stopped me before. All right, drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Like I could go for some pie.
Shit. Alright, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine, we twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Hold on to that feeling. We might need it again. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Aedyr. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. We can discuss our feelings later. Right now, I need answers. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. Naturally. After you.
We gotta see what's down there now.
Gods! Did you open that door? I've been praying here for ages. And in all that time, I've never found a way down to the lower levels. Not one. Who are you, stranger? Then I hope you find answers, and not merely more questions. When you're finished, maybe you could help a servant of the gods? The same thing every Aethasian wants. To be left in peace. While I was at prayer, a bandit held a knife to my throat and stole the reliquary of Saint Widwin. Just look at me. Gods, I'm still shaking. You did. To think a godlike would deliver this back to me. I feel blessed, truly. Wherever he is, Eothas smiles on you. Wait, are you suggesting he stole it for some purpose? That would mean Eothas killed them. That's not possible. I'd heard the rumors that he walked among us, but to think the God of Light could be to blame for such horrors. No. It's beyond belief.
Agents of violence. They cloak themselves in warmth and light and spread like wildfire.
Eothas stands for the best of us. He is above such things. Unthinkable! That's Woodaka's domain. Even so, the best intentions won't bring them back from the wheel. I find myself lost, godlike. I look at this relic now and I wonder whether all my years of service were a waste. I will. I pity my own suffering when I should learn from it instead. I'll pray for the thief's absolution If not in this life, then maybe the next. Thank you for telling me all this.
Shame this had to happen. Some war wounds never heal.
I did not bring us here to explore, but clearly something wants to be found.
Does this feel like the start of a cautionary campfire tale to anyone else?
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you? Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom. Just a little spark. It goes a long way. I'll wager those artifacts you found fit together somehow. Let's have a closer look at camp.
That's not hitting hard enough.
Nicely
Mine
done!
now.
Bravo! Charge it up. Just a little spark.
No, the knife that pierces in the dark.
Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless, none for the abominations.
Coming in hot.
Look out.
I was just getting warmed up.
Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
It's surprisingly colorful. Not sure what I expected.
We've seen godless architecture before. I've never seen godless art until now. Just imagine how much has been lost. We should keep moving. I don't mean to slow us down. little power goes a long way. Charge it up. I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice. Just a little spark. Little power goes a long way. Charge it out. Just a little spark. What in the name of Eora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it. We're going to die down here, aren't we? Well, I had a good run. Let's finish this.
One seek!
They're having fun. Ready to make an entrance?
How did they even get down there? Other things must have their own secret entrance. I'll say it. I'm impressed. If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Aedyr pillar. A little power goes a long way.
Come, hear us through the Aedyr.
We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The Godless erected many important sites around pillars of Aedyr, though I can't speak to their motives. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Aedyr this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts. We welcome you.
The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain.
Lonely, yes. None have asked after us in so long. We open to you as a bud before the sun. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them.
They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls.
We felt the thrill of their wonder. We basked in their desire to know us. They brought their prayers to us. We answered.
We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made.
They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sapadal. You read the leaves and ash yourself. We could only observe. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. No, we do desire our freedom, yes, but we also wish to know you. Can two shoots not spring from the same seed? Find us, free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Your words are comfort indeed. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? A mere drop in a lake. A drop of our blood, our sap, giving to nourish you. We would never harm you, seed of our soul. We could not, even if we wished such cruelty. Your will remains yours. Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. It's a good thing we got results, because I have no desire to put you through that again. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? I'm sorry? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Aedyr. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Aedyr itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Aedyr is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Aedyr here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Aedyr, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. Now that is a tall order. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it, and I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on, there's a way up those stairs.
Charge it up. Just a little spark. Charge it up. Every power goes a long way. There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything.
A hidden god in the living lands. Who knew?
Oh my god. No!
Andrus the Depths.
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilici is all right.
Something's burning. Doesn't look like the city, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising, when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
That's done? Who's hungry?
Take your best shot. Coming from your right.
Hey kid, let's set out. We've tarried long enough. Good news, envoy.
There's the city. Thank goodness. It's good to see home again, if only for a moment. Soon the Rangers will strengthen their defenses. They'll hunt down anyone behind the attack.
Envoy, over here. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Thought so. You have a bit of a reputation. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen, I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. Nice touch. I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess, so you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, cur. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Mesiverno. Her faith takes her deeper inland, or else she would have been at the vanguard. Emerald stares on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Aha! Now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an Aedyran, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I say throw back the little ones if they're not in a position to do more harm. Besides, he's probably more scared of what'll happen if you don't kill him.
Your call, envoy. I'll see to it myself. One clean cut. Then again, I am known to be a little clumsy with an axe.
I say we give his body to Elia. Make him a revenant. Or worse.
Maybe that's taking it a bit too far. Thanks, envoy. If I know the Burn Queen, she won't mind if we enjoy our vengeance a little.
If the Steel Garrote want justice, this is what it looks like.
Let's make sure we're long gone by then.
You have made a terrible enemy.
You did right by us. Thank you, envoy.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the Steel Garrote before they could cause any serious damage. I can't imagine what it cost you to stand up to the likes of the Steel Garrote, but we won't forget it. You warned me something like this might happen. At least we had time to brace for it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
The Inquisitor is not one to be trifled with. I hope you are not punished for your generosity. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the living lands.
Call it what you like. This is an invasion of our sovereign territory.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch. And I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Not for me, perhaps. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as our lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giada.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
You truly think you can find a god? I said I'd keep an open mind, but this is a bit much.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now, what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradis. Exactly. As long as we are animancers, the Aedyrans will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradis is more secure, but it would mean living under Aedyran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you were getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Nakukubel, which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. I would be surprised if your journey were that uncomplicated, but stranger things have happened.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
It's clear to me now. There is a threat in the Living Lands, but it is far greater than the Dream Scourge. You came to us for help, but you repaid it tenfold. I don't know how to repay you for thwarting the attack.
What? You'd do this for me? Really?
If I extended the offer, would you come back to us?
I don't know. Not until my business with the envoy is concluded. And some things would have to change around here.
Understood. So be it. If Giatta is willing to return, then I will allow it. Of course, the final decision is hers, and hers alone. Now, I'm sure you have other matters to attend to in the Living Lands, but let me know if you need anything else. You what? It's been so long since I gave up hope. In his final days, he was fond of going out into the wilderness, and increasingly less fond of returning. Mother seemed to understand, but I never did. That was Father. When he looked at you, he saw your potential, everything you could be, and none of the flaws. Maybe I'll visit him one day, when I find my courage. At least now I can. You could have left me wondering, but you didn't. Thank you, Godlike, from the bottom of my heart.
Ignacy, I'm sorry. Are you going to be all right?
I'll be fine, Giatta. You don't have to worry about me.
I'm not, but, you know, force of habit. Our families used to be close. We have history that's older than our disagreements.
And we've helped each other in grief. At least the worst of mine is behind me. Thank you both again.
They say that the city stands because a stranger came to our defense. Agrasima, godlike. Now, to business. Are you here to collect the bounty? Whose death am I recording? Impressive. I wonder if my theory about her is correct. Is that so? Huh, how fascinating. Here's hoping I get approved to study the flow of essence into the region's fauna after all this is done. Perfetto! That's all of them! As am I. At last I can turn my attention to more important things. Oh, how I've missed my research. Please take this. It's from my personal collection of essence-infused oddities. I have a feeling you will find it of more use than I would.
This isn't over, you know. Emerald Stair was just the beginning.
Ominous portents of doom. Need more of those for sure.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the living land is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. The steel garrote are just a symptom. I keep asking myself, how could I have missed this? How could I not have known an attack was coming? We were all so occupied with the Dream Scourge, we missed the enemy on our doorstep. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. I doubt they know the meaning of the word. They seem a little out of touch. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal. I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? I wish I could. But that legacy is a debt I can never pay off. My parents died pursuing a better future for Animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets Animancers, and everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it, like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. We all deserve better. But fate decided otherwise. Well, onward to better things. If you need anything, you know where to find me. I don't leave Emerald Stair often enough. With everything going on, there's been no time to explore. Finally, I had a moment to myself, and look what happened. The steel garrote invaded the living lands. Sorry. I'm in a mood, if you couldn't tell. True, but I need to raise my spirits. Literally and metaphorically. I used to think I had it all figured out. But the living lands proved me wrong in so many ways. This entire island is the prison of a mad god. How is one Animancer supposed to compete with that? All we're missing is the juggling act. Maybe I'm being melodramatic, or Maybe I'm not used to seeing things clearly. But what if animancy has no future in the living lands? What if my entire career was a mistake? Did I? After what happened to my parents, I always thought the path chose me. You're a good listener as always, but I've taken enough of your time. I'll be fine, really. I'm not the first Animancer to question her life choices, and I won't be the last. If I must. I am uneasy in the presence of so many adherents. They attacked my people, and here we are, waltzing around their occupied territory as if nothing is wrong. I'll do my best not to tarnish your reputation. Fair warning, people might not like seeing you in the company of an Animancer. But don't worry, I won't cause any trouble. I know when to keep a low profile. Well, I don't know what to say. Anyway, thanks for listening. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Pleasant dreams. I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever planned. I don't know what this thing is, but it's giving off power like you wouldn't believe.
Man.
What have you found?
They call themselves the Akita. They worship this strange child.
Boudica will be displeased to hear it.
Boudica is never pleased. Even the Queen's light cannot reach every shadow in this world.
What Boudica pursues, she always finds eventually. I have seen what comes of those who withhold the truth from her.
So have I. But if that knowledge were forbidden... Interesting.
How did the creature hide itself from us? That troubles me more than any threat to Boudica's power.
I agree. Though I will say this. The Queen may have her motives. Sometimes standing idly by is greater subterfuge than action.
I hope this does not force all our hands.
Gods. I could roast a Balrog on the energy coming off this thing.
I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people. They've been through a lot.
Thirdborn's a rough town, but it's not all bad, assuming they're willing to pull their weight.
Animancers can be an eccentric bunch, but we know the meaning of a good day's work.
Come closer.
Gods.
A moment of your time, if you please. From one Aedyran to another. I go where the Inquisitor commands, just as you go where the Emperor commands. You interfered in our plans. Take it from me, Inquisitor Ludwig isn't at all pleased. That's exactly why I've come to make amends.
You lost the fight for Emerald Stair, and now you ask for peace? Don't make me laugh.
Hear me out. That's all I ask. Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwin.
Bring us her severed head, and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our soldiers were poised to attack Fior Messiverno. If you had been made aware, you would not have interfered. You might not want to admit it, but Fior Messiverno is a settlement in decline. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. What exactly do you think you saved?
My home, which you have no right to condemn.
You've done nothing but condemn it. Shouting matches with the governor, open defiance.
I fight for my home because I cherish it, you shit-eating worm. Because I want us to survive.
Then I hope you enjoy the consequences of your actions. Fior Messiverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the living lands down with them. Any good farmer knows when to put down an injured animal. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwin's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Aedyr if that's what it takes. Very good. But the terms of our arrangement are quite clear. The oath to our goddess supersedes any and all political loyalties. Inquisitor Ludwin sees something in you, Envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you, but don't get in our way a second time. It won't end well. Perceptive. Maybe Ludwin was right about you. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
Word travels fast.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't.
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last. Ludwin told me to open a path for you by any means necessary, and that's exactly what I did. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerty. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances. You know, there's a depraved part of me that was hoping you'd make this interesting.
Let's make this a battle to remember.
Sorry it'll be over so quickly then.
Stop right there!
You're man now!
Unseek! Unseek! Let's see what you got!
I was just getting warmed up.
Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn. That they are. I'm honestly surprised they survived out here this long. Who knows? Labs and machines? Yeah, aren't my area of expertise. Maybe they're easier to build than I think. Right, changing the subject. Oh, good. Let's have it. Because it's not that interesting, really, and knowing about it won't keep you alive, and I don't like talking about it. So why pry? Wouldn't you rather your wilderness guide be happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past? I think there was a period of 3 days when I was in training, but I might have dreamt it. I remember sleeping a lot. I appreciate that, envoy. When I was a child in Solace, a warden named Alinka taught me the basics. What berries to eat, how to build a shelter, and so on. Later, I started going out on patrols, just to get experience in the wilds. By the time I was 15, I was going out on my own. No, she died on patrol in the Ash Forest several years back. By then, we already hadn't been speaking for years. We had a falling out over me sneaking out of the keep a few times when I was 17. Well, the few times she knew about. Turns out I was just good at surviving on my own. So I kept doing it, and I kept getting better at it. Right, changing the subject. Anyway, what do you need? Fine. You've been patient enough, I suppose. Right. Solace isn't an easy place to live. The food is stale and meager. The water tastes like steel and old meat. Everyone knows everyone else. No privacy, no silence, no time to yourself. Solace is a walled keep in the harshest region of the lands. Isolated is an understatement. Honestly, all of that was fine. But there was a peculiar kind of silence I didn't love. Huh, you should be a sharpshooter. You keep hitting the target. I have only the faintest memories of my parents, which was fine. I had friends and mentors and trainers and elders. When I asked about my real parents, though, they just told me I was safe now, and that the wardens were my family. I never knew if my parents were alive or dead. I like to assume that they had died fighting some giant monster in the tusks, but no one would say. When I asked for more, they changed the subject, like I wasn't worthy of a backstory. I mean, I know the important part. I'm from Solace, for whatever that's worth. My oldest memories are of Solace. My oldest friend is from there. Maybe, maybe not. I've learned to stop worrying about it. Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vricus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Until next time.
Don't take this the wrong way, but your friend the ambassador is an asshole. You aren't the one who should apologize. What is it about authorities? No modesty, no humility, and barely any regard for others. In more ways than one. Does that kind of power appeal to you? Would you lord over this island as the ambassador does? Dangerous tools in the wrong hands. But you seem more than capable of wielding them. Well, I've kept you as a captive audience long enough. If there's anything else, just let me know. What are you so curious about? Yes, and now I have to decide for myself if that's something I want. When he told me to leave, I was heartbroken, but also excited. Some animancers thrive in a structured environment. It's never been my way. Or maybe I never learned to live within its limitations. Who knows? Thank you for speaking to Ignacy on my behalf. Whether or not I choose to return, it matters that I can. Well, my future is in shambles, and I have no idea what to do next. Oh, and my home is under attack by the acolytes of an insane witch god. Apart from that, fine. Truthfully, I'm a bit lost. Leaving Fiormesiverno was supposed to be liberating. We've seen and done incredible things, but I'm no closer to finishing my family's work. What I'm up against is much bigger than either of us. Through animancy, I can harness the wild essence of the living lands and put it to good use. But what if I tried, only to have it lash out and destroy me? I'd be no better off than my parents. The dream scourge is infecting our Adra, holding back my work. Until I understand it, until I can control it, I can't do anything. I'm useless. I'm nothing. I hope you're right. I really do. Quilici always told me to slow down, to stop and appreciate the land I'm trying so hard to fix. But how can I slow down when I only have one lifetime to get this right? I'll find answers in the garden. For better or worse. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. You saved Fiormesiverno from a terrible fate. That makes you a hero in our eyes. Believe it or not, you impressed a lot of people when you sold your corpse to Elia. Morbid though it may be, no Aedyran has ever given so much to the cause of animancy. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Not before I've done some reading.
Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fjord was attacked when we weren't looking. It's a miracle it's still there. Admit it. Of course I am. That's people's homes. Giada's home. And farms and so forth. Just because I don't like, or trust, or understand most of the people there doesn't mean I'd like to see it burn. I'm a grouch and a cynic, not a blessed korba. Right, changing the subject. You too.
You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers, and now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention why the Steel Garrote attacked my fucking home. Exactly. They claim to bring peace and order, but at what cost? We were lucky this time. My people will be on high alert, but that doesn't mean we're safe. The Steel Garrote are hunting anyone who doesn't conform to their vision of the living lands. Our freedom is on the line.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn? I bet Heelguard's tried that tack. Zealots like her aren't swayed by reason. And Thirdborn will greet her with a sword in one hand and another sword in the other. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back, changed. That's what I'm afraid of.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This Dream Scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt. Don't look at me. Ask the voice in your head.
Everything we learned in Naku Tadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the Dream Scourge. Yardsley is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yardsley can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions. Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant. Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try. This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giada. Giada Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes. We cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything? What? No. They must have confused me with someone else. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Naku Tadek, but I'll take it over nothing.
I'll pass. I've heard too many ghost stories that start this way.
Right. If I wanted to waste time, that's what I carry a flute for.
Just me then? Really? No one else has a question for the god of the living lands? Fascinating.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist. Our best lead is Yatsley, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the Dream Scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise. Stop. You're aggravating my ulcer.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. I wanted to say, for all of its imperfections, Fiormis Iverno deserves a second chance. Thanks to you, it has one. I won't forget it. Not before we answer to her. Just to be safe, we should remain vigilant. Sleep in shifts. Look after each other. Rest while you can. Our enemies are organized, but so are we.
Let's get some rest. We have a long day ahead of us.
We smell death here.
Listen to me. Look here. Can you focus on my voice? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just dizzy.
That last pack gouged a hole through our ranks. How many did you lose?
Too many. Not even counting the ones we had to put down because they turned into dream thralls.
I had to put down 3 good men myself. Telling their family. That was worse.
Don't talk to me like you're the only one who understands hardship. I'm going to be facing down a mutiny soon.
You think we want to be here? Think again.
So leave. I can't wait to see the last of you and your people.
And go where? Nothing but death waiting out there. Better we die with honor.
Another Aedyran, Kutabao.
Hold on. This isn't one of mine. Or Ludwig's. You must be the envoy Hilgard told me about.
Well, you picked a damn fine time to show up.
It was a bloodbath. Dream Thralls ambushed us an hour ago. We're still counting the dead.
Our dead, to be precise.
We lost soldiers too, protecting your people.
Yes, how heroic. Protecting Kith from Aedyran dream thralls.
We did what we could, but the Dream Scourge moves quickly.
This plague doesn't care what banner you stand under, Envoy.
It's been difficult. My soldiers are forced to put blades through their comrades. Former comrades.
In all their military might, your Aedyran comrades decided to go wandering through the desert, despite my advice. And now we're all paying for their idiocy. Thirdborners and Aedyrans alike.
We've since pulled back to Eagle's Reach until more reinforcements arrive to contain the Dream Thralls. Whatever your intentions here, Envoy, it's not worth it. Better to go back to Paradise where it's safe. Gods, a letter from Inquisitor Ludwig. That can't be good.
Kutabao. If that bitch thinks she can threaten our leader, she'll be sorely mistaken. I hope you're right, Envoy. Else we'll all be in a load of shit.
If you pray for anything, may it be that the Inquisitor never darkens your doorstep.
Look, Envoy. Kith aren't too keen on Aedyrans at the moment. Rumor of what happened in Fjord is already starting to spread. Just watch your back, all right?
Good luck, Envoy. Gods protect you.
But they're not fighting over territory, they're fighting over who has suffered the most. We live in unusual times.
Bloodborners have been on edge ever since the mines got shut down.